And hello everyone!
We are live!
Yes, we are! Why are you surprised?
Finally,
What happened?
because it was waiting.
It was waiting a little bit, yeah, true.
This technical stuff, and good afternoon everyone.
For you is, this is too technical. Instead I have to deal with all the cables.
At least you do something. I mean,
Yeah. She has a point. Are you saying that I'm useless in the house?
No, but if we share what we do, actually, in a way.
If we split hair,
if we
right?
Split.
Which percentage would you say that you have in the house, in the doing?
I would say 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, I want to be.
An applause to this, an applause to this.
It's 50-50
yeah.
because the technical side is quite huge.
To split, it is.
And the cooking side is 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of.
I have a catering service with Erica, even at 2 in the morning. If I want to have carbonara, she's all for it.
Yeah, it's coming.
I love you, my dear. You're fantastic.
And I love you.
But you know what else I love? The guest that we have today.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, he's amazing. So he's a Britalian, first and foremost. He's British and he lives in Italy, in Sicily. He's probably connected with the local mafia. He's killing people. He's doing lots of this stuff, as you would do if you live in Sicily. It's classic.
Yeah, classic, yeah.
Obviously. And he is absolutely fantastic.
He's very, very special. Very special.
We're going to ask him loads of questions. He has been working with the FBI, with the CIA together. Yeah?
Yes.
And
yes.
Scotland Yard as well.
Everyone.
Do we have any CIA in Italy? No, we don't. Italians are probably
we do,
no,
yes,
they don't.
we do. It has another name. Yes.
They just go sti cazzi.
No. Marco,
In Italy,
you can't say that.
In Italy, they just don't care. There's FBI, they do all the searching, you know, all the. I must become somewhere.
That's maybe because. Our Craig is there, right? He's helping there as well.
No, I mean in Italy, we don't have an FBI.
We do in a way.
Do we?
Yeah.
In a way. Okay,
we do.
Because we don't have a quarantine. So I mean, we'll have the quarantine.
We have the quarantine, but we don't have a band because we are in quarantine. So you have to listen to us singing. Sorry, we are not singers.
We are not singers. Let me get some coffee first.
But we have to welcome our guest properly.
Yes, so I have a dream,
a song to sing,
to help me cope
with anything. If you see the wonder of a fairy tale,
you can take the future, even if you fail.
I believe in angels.
Something's good in everything you do.
Something good in everything I see. I believe in angels. When I know the time is right for me,
I'll cross the stream. I have a dream. And let's welcome
our gorgeous special
Hey!
Craig Warwick. Finally.
Oh my gosh.
The problem was you're singing.
The problem was
it was probably yes.
Marco singing, especially this time.
It's true.
So you shall sing again now.
Again, you know, I want to save our audience from this.
Yeah.
I know
they deserve better.
Poor them.
Ask me, no?
Loads of questions.
Loads of questions. Loads.
Right off the bat.
First interview in English.
Oh my gosh, we are so proud.
We are so
proud.
honored.
Loads of love
and proud.
Thank you so much.
So proud to be your first. And
you're welcome.
How do you feel? How do you feel that this is your English interview?
First, I want to say compliment on your interview you did with Simon, my friend, the stylist.
Thank you so much.
Great
Thank
interest.
You so much.
He's a great artist, a great person. He's got great energy. He's very positive. And
yes, he
is. Enclosed in a house that you can't go out. I was watching all his videos. He makes me laugh so much, and he was great fun.
Yes, we do. It's amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
You are known, especially in Italy, as the man
who talks to angels.
Uomo che parla con gli angeli. Sì. I left London in 1997.
Okay.
I told you the story. I had a problem where I had a friend that was killed. I had a friend that I was looking after because he had an illness.
Okay.
And I was looking after him because his family, they abandoned him, his friends. No one wanted to be friends with him because it was, he had AIDS. That's his illness. And I thought to myself, well, he's my friend. How can I walk away from him? Because with me, every second was a second more because he had like only 6 months, a year to live.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What happened was I was looking after him. One day I used to do part-time model, and I went to Greece to do a weekend shooting. I came home. I went to his house. I opened the door, went into the lounge, and I found him under a blanket, and I found him with his head cut off.
Cut off, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and what happened was, because I called the police, I was covered in blood because the blood covered over my shoes and everything. I was arrested for his murder.
No. You were arrested? Yeah. Oh my God.
I was arrested for his murder because they thought I had the key to the door.
Were you the murderer?
No. They made me believe I was the murderer. Because, they interrogate you, I was 3 days in the prison. I was 1 month in house arrest. The person that killed him burned my house down. I lost my work. I was working at Daniel Galvin's in Baker Street, the hairdresser.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
which is very exclusive. Lots of actors go there. So it was I wasn't allowed to work there no more because it was like a scandal for them. So after about 1 month or 6 weeks, I decided that I was going to go and find the murderer. I was going to go and find him because the police had no clues. They had no clues.
Yeah, they couldn't find him,
So I went to a bar and I told everybody that I saw the murderer. I saw what happened that day. 3 days after, I was sitting in my apartment.
Was it true? Was it true that you saw the murderer?
No, it wasn't true.
No, it wasn't true.
But I had visions.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had an apartment in Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace is the highest part of London. My apartment was on the 8th floor, so I had this really beautiful view of London of a night time. And I was sitting on my divan, sofa, and there was a full moon, so I didn't put the light on. So I was sitting there just looking at the window, and I heard click. And when I turned around, the murderer, the assassino, the murderer, was in my house.
Oh
he
my
was standing
gosh.
behind me. And I turned around, he pushed me against the wall, and he cut my throat.
Oh my gosh, did you lose
Oh my God.
Did you lose lots of blood?
I started to bleed, but you know what happened was, the police explained to me, because I looked at him in the eyes, and I looked at him, and I said to him, you killed Alan. That's my friend's name, Alan. And I started to laugh. And because I laughed, I shocked him. So he didn't kill me. But if I'd screamed, he would have done more.
He would have gone deeper. Oh my gosh, yeah.
You have been so brave in that moment
arrested, and he was the murderer.
How did he get into your house? Did he have your house keys?
He's a professional.
A professional, yeah.
Professional. But what happened was, at that time, my friend was killed. He was in Catford in southeast London.
Yeah.
At the same time, there was a serial killer that killed 5 gay men. And they were very close to the home of my friend. And they believed that the serial killer had killed my friend.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but they still hadn't found the serial killer. So I said to the police, if I was able to find the serial killer, you will believe me that this murder is not the same as the other 5, because the serial killer burned his victims face down in the bed. Alan was not burned, he was sliced.
Oh my God.
So I was walking through Charing Cross Station, and I heard this voice tell me, look up at the camera. I looked up at the camera, I called the police, and I said, you have to check this video, because the murderer of these 5, the
passed from here,
he passed here. And it was true. We found the video of him following his last victim.
Is this the moment where you cooperated with the FBI?
Yes. What happened was, I was doing a show in London called The Psychic Show with Kate Silverton. It was a show that went on every day for 2 weeks. And they said that the show had, 2 weeks, but it had such a great success. It went on for 3 months. And every week I kept calling my partner at the time. I kept saying, I'm coming home on Monday and I'd win the show. So I'd have to stay another week. So I called him again and said, I'd be home again on Monday. I stay another week, 3 months. And at the end, I won the show. And I won a contract to my own program on Living Channel called the Street Psychic. Because I was the first street psychic. But a little boy, 4 years old, had gone missing in America. Yeah. And the family were poor. And they asked me for my help. So I asked the studio if they'd wait 10 days for me while I flew out to see if I could help this family. And they said, no, we don't have the time. Yeah, they didn't have the time. So they gave
that's fair enough. They need to move on with the show, yes.
Yes.
So I flew out to America to find this little boy that had gone missing. I found his shoes, I found his clothes. We found witnesses that had seen him. They saw what was going on. And it was such a mysterious story. But we found a little boy that had the same age, the same scar, the same missing tooth, the same colored eyes, but it wasn't our little boy. But he'd been with this pedophile had him for 2 years. Oh. So we saved a boy. We saved the boy, but it wasn't the little boy we was looking for.
That's amazing.
It's a very complicated story, but it's a very interesting story.
So this was one of the first times where you were basically giving in advance information to
finding a missing
child.
I tell you what happened was I was in Italy and I was sending them messages also because I could only stay there for 10 days. I flew home and one day I wrote to them, I could see a cow, a black and white cow, and they wrote back and they said to me, Craig, here we have only pigs and horses. We don't have cows because it's South Carolina. 2 days after, the FBI agent was driving his car and he saw a painting of a black and white cow on the side of a house. And he took a photograph and it was the same design that I drew. And so I understood
so that was a prediction basically,
So the story was the little boy had seen that cow because he passed the road. So we knew now he was no more in that town, he'd moved on. So
unbelievable, I do have one question. When you work with the FBI, are you given like a permit, a special badge, a 007 gun? How does it work? Are you given like a special sports car?
I said when I was there in North Carolina, it was raining so much and we was in a swamp and we was looking for a body and we found a body in a bag. I was convinced that this was the little boy we was looking for. But when we opened up the plastic bag, inside the bag was a monkey. It wasn't a baby, it was a monkey. So the CSI, FBI and the law enforcement said, Craig, you're wrong, it's not a baby. But when we opened up the mouth of the monkey, inside the mouth was 5 photographs of 5 children that gone missing. One of the photographs was the little boy.
No.
So the energy that I was finding was there. So that was another clue that the
monkey was eating missing people photographs. I could work for the FBI as well. If anyone from the FBI is watching, guys, I'm available for hiring.
Yeah, but it's not easy. This work is not easy because first it's I have the eyes, that they have to do the work. Because if I say, like I said, I see a house, I see a river. You
don't want to get your hands dirty.
That's right. But when you asked me about James Bond, when I was in North Carolina that day, I was so wet and I was so angry because I just bought new shoes from Italy. And I ruined my shoes.
You don't want to ruin them.
I'd ruined my shoes and I said I was the psychic Indiana Jones.
The
crocodile.
Did you have like how do you call it, a wisp?
No, I had a stick in my hand because between the crocodiles at one end and the snakes at the other end, I was like ready to go home fast.
Fair enough. This is unbelievable. It's a great story. And you wrote a book about this, right? As well.
Yeah, my first book, but I didn't go in so much detail because I don't want people to think that I think I'm the best.
But you are,
I'm very serious with my work because I've never been paid. I don't ask for money because I think what I have is a gift. If I give, what I want in life comes back to me. So, you know, it's a nice experience. And this is what happened. I come to Italy. I left because I had this stalker. I had this problem with the story that I was a murderer because the people still were convinced that I killed my friend. The story of Lady Diana, I saw her death before it happened, the accident before it happened. I was working for Harrods, I was doing a radio program for Harrods, Liberty Radio, with Sally Mean. I got to meet Lady Diana and we become friends. And the last time I saw her, she asked me, Craig, do you see my wedding? And I said, no, I don't see a wedding.
She didn't get married. Was she suggesting?
Yeah, she said, you're wrong because I'm going on holiday and then I'm going to get the ring and we're getting married. And she said to me, but do you see that, I have a child? And I said, no, I don't see a child. And she said, you're wrong. And she touched her stomach. And that's why I always say, I believe she was pregnant. She was pregnant.
Yeah, okay? She might.
And I said to her, Diana, be careful.
Or maybe she had a stomach ache, yeah?
No. The story is this. And she said, Diana,
Marco, don't make up stories.
Yeah. Be careful of a white car with flashing lights. But I was wrong because I said Rome, but she died in Paris. But if you go to Rome...
Yeah, I knew that as well, yeah.
The tunnel is very similar to the one in Paris.
Oh, yes, exactly. The one, yeah.
But Italians are not interested in this kind of...
Yeah. But I said, political. Diana, you know, you and Daldi will always be together. But they died together. And when this accident happened, we call it an accident, okay? I was called back to London to see if I can see other things for them. Yeah. And I talked about a letter that Diana had written, which they found 2 years after. Yeah. And other things that I'm not allowed to talk about.
It's classified.
Did you meet with Prince Harry and William as well? What did you say to
Diana was, and she was also very sensible. She always saw things also. She sensed things. And she told me that she had a dream about me. And she in her dream, I was on an island and I was arguing with people. And I because I was going to Sicily. So the island for me was Sicily, but it wasn't. It was the reality show, The Survivor, because I did
Isola di Famosi,
Famosi. And I was sitting on the island.
Maybe she had a vision for an entertaining TV show, yeah. And maybe she wanted to bring that TV show in England, yeah.
Well, you know, her spirit was with me that morning on the island because I heard her voice for the first time, and I realized that was what she saw was the island. It was this island where we were arguing a reality show, and that was what she was seeing for me.
Did she say something to you in that morning?
Yes, she told me to be strong. She told me to be strong and be myself, which I was. Because it's not easy. The program is not easy at all. Because you're taken to an island, you're thrown out of a helicopter.
No, with a parachute.
I can't swim.
Really? Oh my God!
Yes, they told me it's not. They told me it's not very deep. It was deep.
It was
deep. I always wondered if it's deep or not because everyone says no, it's not deep. It's not. So it's deep.
Well, on that day there was a very strong wind, so the helicopter was even higher than before.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And it was very deep. We couldn't even swim. They had to come and take us to the island at the end because they said you won't go under because you have this safe belt. But I went under. Had water up my nose, in my mouth. I was coughing. I couldn't see because it was all in my eyes.
Oh my God.
The moment you arrive on the island, the moment you put your foot on the island, you're abandoned. There's nothing. It's dark.
Gosh.
So now you've got to think of how you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep. And then you've got to support all those other people.
Are there sharks around the island?
No. I wish there was some sharks so they could have eaten some of the people that were there on the island with me.
Okay. You could have pushed them, Go get the stick,
Go get it.
We were happy because we thought, we was all convinced that to be on the island, you act, you be your personality. Yeah. And that when you're hungry, they're going to give you a pizza, they give you pasta.
Oh, okay. No, it doesn't happen. No pizza. Was it an Italian island?
It's just your rice, but you can only eat your rice if you win fire, because you know every week is a game and you have to win the fire. So if you don't win fire and it rains, you don't eat. I lost 8 kilos in 1 month.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Have you tried biting someone else in the competition to eat?
We was almost there. We was
almost there, yeah.
They'll give you a coconut, and I don't like coconuts. I used to give my coconut to the girl that was with me on the island.
You weren't hungry enough. Yeah.
But no, I prepared myself 1 month before. I ate less, so my stomach was used to not eating. So I didn't have a problem with the not eating part.
Oh, okay. I thought you prepared by eating a lot, so you were kind of...
No, the opposite. You prepared not eating it.
So you were used, because your stomach...
What about clothes? Did you have any... Were you naked?
That was my problem, because when I given one set of clothes, I'm so used to changing my clothes every day, 2 or 3 times a day. So for the first time in my life, I was wearing the same T-shirt, the same trousers, and you have to wash them and dry them and then put them back on. And it's like, ooh.
That's a bit... Can I have a tuxedo? Yeah.
But you know,
Bow
also
tie.
on the island, what happened was I started to write messages on the sand for the people that were watching the program. I was getting a message for Roberta, I was getting messages for Diana, for this person, for that person. And then
using bad words as well?
Yeah. One morning I saw a little boy running across the island. And he was about 8 years old, and he was an angel. And he used to sit and talk with me every morning. And this made the other cast were afraid of me because they saw me talking to myself, but I wasn't by myself. I was with this little boy. And I asked him, "Where's your home?" And he said to me, "Craig, my home is underwater with my father." And he told me the story about a boat. He was on the boat with his father, and there was a battle with two boats, and they went underwater. And he was my friend for 3 days. He was my friend for 3 days. Yeah. And then I had an accident on the boat. I fell over and I broke a rib. Yeah. And I had to leave the show.
Oh, so you left the show because you broke a rib on the... Oh my God, I didn't know that.
And
plus,
how did this happen now? How did you got the ribs broken now?
Yes.
Because I slipped on the boat. And then the same night, the girl that did the show with me, her name is Francesca Cipriani.
Okay.
She's very famous because she's very, very big.
Very capable.
Yes. And she fell on top of me. And she fell on top of me. And she put her hand here, and I had her boobs in my face.
I mean, lots of people would have invited you. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of people would
have never gone home after that situation.
I didn't see stars. I saw the universe because the pain was so bad. But I had to leave the island. I had to leave the island because I couldn't continue no more.
How would have had continued if you stayed on the island? Would have you been?
I think I would have been in the top 3 because I was enjoying myself. I was.
What do you mean?
Every day was new because I was going to sleep with the stars and the moon and the sea.
Yeah.
I was waking up with the sun. It was very spiritual, but you go to sleep with the heartbeat. You hear only your heart beating. You sleep on the floor.
Okay, so silent.
Which is beautiful, yeah.
Where is the island?
You get the time to stay with yourself.
It's near to Mexico. It's a very small island, very small. You start to remember all your childhood. You start to miss the things that it's not your television, it's not programs, it's not the computer, you miss your parents, you miss your brother, you miss your sister. You miss the things that are most important in your life, because we forget all about this because we're very selfish people.
No. I mean, we are selfish ourselves.
I miss my parents all the time.
But every time that we come back for a year, we have the same. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I even go shopping different. Before I would just shop and waste food. Now I don't do this. I buy what I need.
And applause to this against the consumerism.
Yeah.
It teaches you to appreciate the little things.
Yes.
Which are very important.
Water, because when I left the island and they put you in a hotel, because no one's allowed to meet you or see you for like 3 or 4 days. Hot water with soap. I was under the shower for 2 hours. I used 2 bottles of shower gel. I was just washing myself away. It was so beautiful to feel hot water on me because you can't wash on the island. You go in the water and there's no toilet.
How long does it take before you start stinking a lot?
Well, do you know when we had a bad weather? The sea actually came on the island, and they were afraid for us because they couldn't come to save us, and we couldn't get off the island. And we were so wet. Do you know when you've been in water for too long and your hands all wrinkled?
Yes,
We were like all old people. Our skin was all wrinkled.
It's every one of my showers,
Yeah, it was underwater. But the problem was also the toilet, because there is no toilet on the island. There's an area where you go and make a hole and you make your business.
Oh my God.
You asked me yesterday and I said, well, sometimes it's embarrassing because where you go, someone's been before you.
What do you do? Do you taste it to say, this is so
No.
Yeah. No.
Oh, you smell the
smell.
In starving time, you might taste it as well.
This is Richard.
That's why when you see the program, there are so many mosquitoes, and we get bitten so much. We were in so much pain with the mosquitoes.
I want you to ask you, because you can you talk to angels and you had all these visions. How does it work when you have those visions? Is it a loss of power? Do you have to be very focused? Is it very relaxing? Is he like an orgasm? I don't know.
Beautiful. You know, I'm a guest on a program which I'll go very often. There's a lady here. She does a program. Her name is Caterina Balivo.
Okay, Balivo, yeah.
She was the one that made me famous. She made me known here in Italy. When she first saw me, she thought I was an actor. Because she said no, because she imagined this old man with glasses, grey hair to walk in the street.
You had a script. She thought you had a script.
Oh no, you don't look like a psychic. And she was talking to me, giving me, you know, asking me about my life, and I heard a voice, an angel, told me, well, don't listen to her. There's my daughter in the audience. Talk with my daughter. So Caterina, she said to me, Craig, why don't you look at me? Why are you always looking over there? Because it was indirect, and she got a little angry with me because she thought I was being rude. And I said, well, Caterina, there's an angel with me, and the angel wants to talk to the lady. So she said, well, go and talk to the lady. So I gave the message, and it was true. And then there was a second angel, and then there was a third angel.
Oh my
and
God.
She said, oh, this is interesting. The next week, she called me again, do you want to come back? And I said, no, I didn't really enjoy the first interview. And she said, well, come back, because so many people have called for you. So I went back a second time. And she said, Craig, would you like to be a part of the show 2 to 3 times a week? And I said, no, I don't like television. I don't want to do television. And I stayed with her for 3 years. I did the show for 3 years. And every time I said, it's my last
So how did they convince you?
It was Caterina.
Okay.
Her. Yes. I enjoyed working with her. She's professional. She's beautiful. She's friendly. She's caring.
Yes.
And that's the quality. When a person has this quality, I work very good for them. I did another show on a Saturday afternoon with Paola Petico, and she's so beautiful too. And I walked into the studio, and she said to me, Craig, do we have an angel with us? And I said, yes. I saw a man. He walked into the studio, and in the studio was a coffee table with like a full set of coffee cups. Okay. And I saw him pick up a coffee cup, and he looked at the lady and said to her, auguri.
Oh.
And I said what I saw. And so Paola, she asked the lady in the audience, does that make sense to you? Because for me, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So the lady starts to cry. She said, today is my husband's birthday. He died 5 years ago. And this morning, with her coffee, she said to him, auguri.
Auguri, oh, okay. Yeah,
and he replied to her.
You see the angels. Can you see, I don't know, the opposite as well, like devils?
Yes, they exist. The good and bad exist. And I try to stay a long distance from
that.
Yes. In fact, there is a video on my YouTube where I went into a church. There's a village here in Calabria. There's a very horrible story that a man went to the village and he shot so many people, and you know, everybody left because they say they were ghosts. We were passing, and I'm very curious. I said, well, I want to go there. I want to see if it's true.
Yeah.
So we went there, and there was a church that's been closed for 15 years or 20 years. But on this day, there was a man cleaning the door. And he said, would you like to go inside the church? So I'm very brave. I said, yes, I'd like to go into the church. And in the video, you see I walk into the church, and my friend, she's filming me with her telephone.
Yeah.
And as I walk in, there is a Madonna, and she's dressed in black. And I asked, why is this Madonna dressed in black? Because I've never seen a Madonna dressed in black.
Yeah.
And as I say this, you'll see I go like this with my arm. I raise my arm, and something scratches my arm here, and then my second arm, because the spirit that was inside that church understood that I could feel him, I could see him, and he wasn't being bad. He was showing me that he was present, and he
wanted to push you away.
Yeah, he wanted me to leave the church, to go away from that city. And as we was leaving, the further we was moving away, it started to disappear from my arms. But I had it all on video. Oh
my gosh!
How did you feel?
It burned. It
Which
hurt.
one was
it hurt. But he was telling me that he died there and he hadn't passed on. And I was trying to tell him to look for the light and go towards that light. And I said a prayer for him. I believe he passed on because I could hear him and I was speaking with him. But my friends, they all ran away. They all got so scared. They would all run. They was in the car. Do you know when you get in the car like a film and you turn the key and the motor doesn't start and you can't get away?
Yeah.
It was like a film. They exist. It exists. Like in North Carolina, the monkey, the story of the monkey with the babies, that was black magic. And that was a ritual they did for Halloween. I got a phone call in a hotel. We never knew who called me at the hotel. It was a lady's voice, and she said to me, I have a gift for you. And I said, well, what is your gift? And I had a crucifix on a chain, And my crucifix flew off my chain and went into the wall. But it wasn't broken. My chain wasn't broken. But the crucifix went into the wall. She said to me, "Do you like my gift?" And I said, "Well, nothing happened." But I didn't want to say to her, "Yes, it happened," because it gave her more strength over me. So I made out it didn't happen. 5 minutes after, the window of the hotel shattered. It just broke.
Yes.
And the law enforcement and CSI decided that I had to change my hotel because it was getting very dangerous, because we were dealing with people that were doing witchcraft, black magic, and it was just getting very, very strange.
Sometimes I get Erica throws me books into the face, and I don't like that either. So.
Erica, you did good.
Not like me, no.
I want to ask you a question, Craig. Do you see any angel here in our background?
Between the two of us?
Yes, I see a man.
It's a man.
Near to Erica. I'll explain. It's not like in a film you see an image. You see an energy, color. You see lights. You see, it's like a music, and they call you. And the more they call me, and I start to listen, then I hear their voices, and then I see who they are. And I see, and I always say in my books, and when I'm in television, if they kiss here, they're parents. This angel kisses Erica. He kisses her, and he tells her that he passed away when she needed him, but he's never left her. He's always been with her. And he's saying that he was so strong, but his body was weak, and that's why he had to go away.
That's true.
He's saying. But he never left you. And your smile, he has the same smile. But he was a man that done so much hard work for everybody, but he never had time to enjoy himself. He never enjoyed himself because he was always working, always doing things. And when he was younger, he was never a little boy. He was straight away a man. He has so much responsibility in life. On the other side, you know, it's more beautiful there than here. On the other side, he's not alone. There's a lady with him that she laughs. And he loves her very much. He could be his mother, but he's saying that we're so happy here. Why do you think that he suffered? Because he doesn't suffer. He's happy. But when he was alive, he always had something to do. He wasn't a man that sat down and didn't do anything. He was so positive, so much energy. And he's the same there. He's helping. Our angels have to help other people too. They're not just our angels. They become the angels of other people as well.
This is unbelievable. This is truly unbelievable. I mean, you could have not speak to anyone. So this is, I mean, she's crying.
But it's also, can I just give you one message?
Thank you.
Your dream that you have, that you think will never happen, is coming. But he's saying to you, be calm, be more relaxed. It's here. You got to be relaxed. It's not the stomach. It's nowhere else. It's here.
Thank you.
No,
let's not tell your grandmother that he's happy with another lady.
Oh, can I tell you a funny
like
story
that.
for this? Can I tell you a funny story? I got a phone call from a friend. She was with her friend whose husband died 6 months before. And she had a safe in the house, which she didn't remember the number to, because all the money and the jewelry are in the safe. She said, "Can you ask my husband for the number of the safe?" And I said, "Well, I can't do that because first I can't sense his energy. And, you know, that's quite almost impossible to ask that question." And then I said to her, "But the number, he wrote down in his jacket, and the jacket's next to your red dress." And she said, "But I don't have a red dress." I said, "Yes." I said, "Do you have blonde hair with the big earrings?" And she said, "No, Craig, you're talking about my friend." Her husband had an affair with her friend. And his jacket is in her wardrobe next to the red dress with the number of the safe.
Unbelievable. I mean, truly an applause to this. Because, Craig, I do have a question as well. The person you were talking about before is probably her grandfather. And you described it perfectly. It was a man that was... first and foremost, am I alone instead? I don't have any angels. Am I alone in this life?
Do you know what's beautiful, Marco? I tell you what you have. Yes, you do have angels, but you have young angels. You have like little lights that flying around you. And these lights are babies, are children that play with you because you're a big baby. You are such a big baby because you have inside you, you're still this little boy that wants to do so much. And the angels, the little angels, are attracted to this, and this means that you're a great person. You've got a great personality. But they're telling to you, why don't you write that book? They're bringing you a pen and giving you this pen, and they're saying to me, tell him, write the book, write the story. So if you have a project and you're thinking about writing the book or writing the story, it's the right time to do this. But they laugh because you never find your shoe. You're always saying, where is my shoe? Where are my keys? Where is my thing? And they laugh at you because they joke with you. They hide your things. And they're saying to you, why don't you ask them to help you? Because if we don't ask our angels to help us, they can only stay with us. But if we wake up in the morning and we say, angel, help me to do this. Don't say I want, because if you say I want, they can't do anything. But you say, today I would like this opportunity. Today I need you to be my strength. I want you to be my hope. I want you to be my happiness. And they will do this for you. But your strength, Michael, is this little children, it's these angels. You are so good with children. And that's why they're attracted to you. That's why they're attracted to you. But the nice thing at the moment, as I said, they're giving you a pen and they're saying to you to write the story. Maybe you have a fantasy story or you're thinking of writing a book, but they're telling you to write it. But they're saying to you, your life was so different 10 years ago. 10 years ago, your life was so different, so many promises, and yet no one did anything for you at the end. You felt such alone, and you made a big change. And they're saying to you, don't be afraid to make more changes, because it's not finished here. Your career, your destiny is pulling you into a direction, and you've got to go with it. You have a very free spirit, and it's like, go walk with the wind. Don't walk against the wind, because it's a fight. Walk with the wind. There's always the right time, the right place with the right person. And if something doesn't work good today, it doesn't mean it's negative. It means it's not the right moment.
Yes.
And that's what they're saying to you. That's what they're saying to you.
My gosh, I've got the goosebump, the chicken skin.
Or chicken skin, as we call it, right?
And applause to this, really.
I always say,
unbelievable.
Thank you very much. But I always say, it's not easy being me. It's a very big responsibility. I have a very big responsibility because it's not a game. I'm very jealous of my angels. I've had this since I was a baby, a little boy, and I suffered so much because I'm one of 9 children. My father was Catholic, and he didn't believe in me. And he used to close me in a room in the dark, and he used to be, he had a friend that was a priest, and they used to do so many bad things to me that I had to go and live with my grandmother in the end because I couldn't stay at the house anymore. But they've always looked after me. I love my energy. I love my angels. And lots of people say to me, Craig, why do you stay home? Why don't you go out? But I'm not alone. And I'm 55 years old now, and you think, maybe I should live a normal life, but what is a normal life? Maybe I can't do that.
There doesn't exist a normal life.
It doesn't exist.
Nothing
the life
normal.
is the one you want.
Exactly.
What's a normal life?
What's happened in this 3 months of the virus that we've had here? I've become an artist. I've been painting.
Really?
Can you show
us something?
I can show you some photos, and they're all they're very colourful. But it's an angel that comes to me and he says to me, get the colors, mix this color, and you paint this. And every painting is different. And if you look at them, you will see an angel. And these paintings, the idea of these paintings are an angel's painted them. But it's to take away the stress of the person. The more you look, they give you a positive energy, a positive feeling to make you stronger, to make you walk with your head up high. Because when we walk with our head up high, it's positive. When we walk with our head down, it's negative.
True, yeah.
So my paintings are going to give lots of speranza, hope, strength, and happiness to lots of people. That's my next project. When I have enough, I've got 15. I want to do about 30 of them, but I won't sell them. But I will give them to charity because they were painted by an angel. So
that's amazing. That's a great message as well.
That's a very good message as well, like for kindness.
But if you send me your address, I'll send you one.
Yes, yes, please. I'll send you the address right after. No publicity.
Thank you.
No publicly. I know you guys. You want to sneak around and knock at our door, especially for Erica.
No, for Mark.
You can't have her. You can't have her. That's brilliant. I mean, oh my gosh, I don't know how you got.
I'm speechless.
How you can feel this, especially because we never met in person. We had a brief chat. Like
I didn't even have any.
But you know what?
I
always say,
it's incredible.
Be careful when you wish for something, because when you wish, it goes to the universe and it comes down at the right moment. When I saw your interview with Simon, and I thought, oh, this is so funny. This is so much fun, this interview. And I didn't think no more of it. And then when I received your message to ask me, would I be interested? I wrote, yes. Yes, I would be, because people need this energy. The people want to have laughter. They want to smile. They need to be happy. They need to be positive. Because when we look for problems, we find problems.
Oh yeah, of course.
Absolutely, yes.
And life is tough now. Life is tough. But if we wake up believing in ourselves,
not if you live with us.
You've got to do. Believe in you and yourself. Everything is possible. Everything is possible.
Absolutely.
And absolutely. Applause to this. Absolutely. Believe in you. Hard work pays out.
Yeah.
I tried once. I had these angels. They told me to paint. I'm not going to show the results. Yeah.
I love your painting. I love your
I tell you another thing. When I go into the studio and I talk with the public, there's an angel, and they always invite people, 3 or 4 people that don't believe, and they argue with me, and I sit there and I just smile, because when a person insults you or they're aggressive with you, never be aggressive with them, because that means that you're worse than them. You become
of course, yeah.
You should always combat with a smile, because a smile is the best arm of everything. It's a smile. It's not words, it's not a gun, it's not a knife. Just smile, and that will hurt them more. So when I'm in the studio, I never reply to them. I never get aggressive. I just sit there and I think, I'm just sorry for them.
That's true. But a gun would make them stop.
No.
But it means that you, as I said, you're the worst person, because you will finish. And you would take.
That's fair enough.
And prison's not fun. I can tell you this.
Absolutely.
Even
a rifle.
No, never.
You're living in Sicily at the moment. How is living in Sicily?
Yes, I'm living in a beautiful town. It's called Milazzo, and it's near to Taormina, which is the most romantic city here in Sicily.
It is, indeed. I love it.
Here in Milazzo, you eat good here. The people are fantastic here. They're very friendly.
Yeah, I know.
And we have 6 little islands in front of us. We have Selina, we have the Volcano, Stromboli, and they're paradise. And of a morning, I'll take a boat and I go to one island and I come back in the afternoon.
Amazing. You're living the life. Yeah. Have you ever connected with one of the local mafia?
Right, I will tell you a very funny story. When I left London to come to Sicily, I'd seen all the films. I'd seen the Albertino, and I wanted to see Mafia, and I never saw
anything.
For real?
Anything.
It's not there. It's not there.
It's true,
I thought you see all these ladies dressed in black and all these men with the violins under their arms and it's not there.
Nothing.
That's the unfortunate thing, because when you go to the agency in London and say, I want to go to Italy, they will send you to Rome, they will send you to Venice, and they send you to Milan. But Sicily is more beautiful. The garden is God's garden, because we have everything here. We have the lemon trees, we have the orange tree, we have the herbs in the garden.
Granita.
They have the best melons as well.
Granita, the tomatoes, the apple plant, the melanzana. It's paradise here. And that's
I know.
And it's not expensive to come here.
Sold it.
We are coming to Sicily.
I'm booking the flights now.
As soon as we can.
Just give me 5 minutes.
Lockdown is over.
Do you ever miss London?
No.
The vibe of London.
Or what do you miss about London?
I miss my family.
I
miss my family, but the lifestyle, no, because here the lifestyle is more calm. It's very friendly. People are not very violent here. You hardly see anybody argue. The people, yes, they go to drink, but they're social. They go to have fun. They don't go have drink and fight and drugs. And we're like 10 years behind London, I think.
Even more. I think even 50.
You know, everybody likes to dress nice. Even the babies. You see babies at 2 years old dressed with a little cravat, tie and a jacket.
So nice.
It's
beautiful.
It is beautiful here. Like with the virus, the problem with the virus was all closed in the houses. But at 6 o'clock every evening, people went on the balcony to sing. And people were singing from the balconies, and they were passing food over to the other side of the road to the other building. And then the week after, they decided that it would be at 6 o'clock, everyone would go outside and they would dance. They were passing a bad time with a smile.
Amazing.
Close
to this.
So have you been singing and dancing during this lockdown with everyone in the neighborhood?
Also, like with what I do with the angels, where there is music, and when you dance, and where there are children, and where there are animals, and where there is color, there are angels.
Yes.
Like, this is another thing. When people go to a funeral, okay, and they think, well, we've got to wear black for 1 month, 2 months. The angels don't come to you because black reacts to them. But if you put color on, like a red or a green or a blue, you have more angels than you can possibly imagine. Because they're
we should tell this to our parents.
I'm going to tell them because our parents
Italian, right?
are always in a grey and black.
When I first presented my first book, because I've written 6 books, my first book, everybody sits in the first row because they think I'm going to talk to them. And I said, don't wear black because the angels don't come to you in black. So when I present my book, I have like 1,000, almost 2,000 people at a time. And everybody's so colorful. They're just full of color.
Yeah, to get on there,
no one is wearing black because they think I'm going to talk to them.
Well, what do you say? What do you say in these occasions? Now there are too many, so nothing. Yeah? I can't choose.
Did it ever happen that the angels were so many in a room where you were speaking and you couldn't kind of...
Yes, because they start to argue. This angel wants me to go first to her son. This one wants me to go to the father. This one wants to go to the mother. But there was a time where I looked at the man and I said to him, your angel said you've got to buy a new car. And he said to me, but Craig, I've just bought a new car. I've only had it for like 2 months. I said, but your angel's telling you you've got to buy a new car. After
it was crashed outside.
He went outside. Someone stole his car.
No.
Yeah. So he had to get a new car. There was another moment where I said to this man, I see your father, and your father is telling you goodbye. And he said, Craig, my father is alive. I said, but I'm sorry, but this man is telling me he's your father. He went home and his father died that moment.
Oh my God.
So the father had come to me to say goodbye to his son. And then there was another experience, very sad, where I was presenting my book and I was being interviewed on television. I saw this light fly to the other side. It was a theatre because there's too many people. We couldn't be in the bookshop. And the light went right at the end of the theatre where it was so black, so dark, I couldn't see anybody. And I said to the journalist, I have to follow the light. I said, I have to go to the back row and talk to this man. And I walked past all the audience. I went to this man and I said to him, I need to hug you. And he said to me, why? I said, I have a young boy of 18 to 19 and he wants to hug you. And I hugged him and he cried because it was his son that was killed in, there was an Italian boy killed in Spain. And because he said he's sorry he went away and he didn't come back. And as I hugged the father, I saw this angel going to the light. And that was a very,
as well, especially...
Yeah, that was a very sad moment. It was a very important sad moment. And there was another time in Milan, I was in the shop, and I saw this little girl pulling on her father's belt. And she was saying, Daddy, take me home, Daddy, take me home. And he was talking to the wife. And I thought, you know, the young people today never take any notice of their children. This little girl is crying to the father, I want to go home. And it was going on for about 5 minutes. And I stopped and I was watching the little girl and I watched the mother and she watched me and she smiled and she said, you're the man that talks with the angels. And I said, yes, how do you do? I'm Craig Warwick. And she said, please tell me about my angel. Is my little angel with me? So I understood then the little girl I was seeing was an angel. And I said to her, please, you come for a coffee with me because it's not easy to talk to parents. And I told them what I saw and she cried. And they told me that when the husband will go to work, she pull on his belt so that he have to stay home. She always hung on his belt. But when the little girl had passed on, she never saw the father. The father didn't come home in time. So again, I had to say to him, please, I need to hug you. And I hugged him and the little girl passed over because she missed the hug of the father.
It's amazing.
And so amazing. Those moments are very touching, very personal, but exist. We are never alone. They never leave us. They're always with us. I mean, when you're thinking of a person that's no more with us, that moment they're with you. Or how many times you hear a song and you remember a moment when you was little with that person?
Yeah.
Or when you begin to eat, you say, do you remember father? Do you remember mama? Do you remember nonna, auntie?
Yes, yeah.
So at that moment, they are with you.
And especially in Italy, we have these large families. So
yes. Yeah. Oh, we eat good. 3 o'clock in the morning, we're making the pasta, spaghetti.
Yeah.
Every time it's a big feast.
Every time it's always a...
You eat your food, especially here in Sicily. I mean, you begin at 9 o'clock, you finish at 1 o'clock in the morning, and at 2 o'clock you begin again. And then there's
if you're lucky, it could go on 24/7. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cakes and ice cream, the arancini.
Arancini.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. They also send us signs with a feather. How many times have you been alone or you've been in the street and a feather falls in front of you? If you have had that experience, a feather?
Yeah, we are full of ducks here in that. Yeah.
Well, that could also be a sign of an angel. Or when you see a rock or a stone in the form of a heart, or something called
stone.
Yeah.
A
That's
stone,
the sign
right?
of an angel. Yeah. They sent us lots of messages, but we just don't look around for them.
I was asking for a new laptop, and I don't think that is gonna come, right?
It doesn't come in the
Doesn't
form of
come,
an angel.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, I should probably call Carrie's PC and go send one. Yeah.
Do you know what is the number one question everybody asks me when they meet me? The numbers to the lottery.
Oh,
Really?
I mean, I would be glad if you could give us a couple.
I always say if I could do that, I'm the first. I would do the numbers first, and then
You would do it.
Fair enough.
But jokes aside,
That's
we do have one number that is connected to Erica's grandfather. You know, do you have any clue? Do you feel any number?
No, but you know what I always tell to the people: if you're going to play a number, play always number 8 or number 3, because number 8 is life, it's infinite, it's unfinished.
And 3 is the perfect number.
Yeah, and number 3, if you double it, it's 8.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
It's 8. So we play number 3 and 8, so it could be 83, 38. Or 8 or 3.
Or 8 plus, yeah.
I'm gonna play these numbers. If I win anything, I'll send you a check.
My pleasure is seeing other people smile. When I see people smile, I'm happy. I can't bear to see somebody sad. At the moment, next week I'm going to be doing an indirect with a professoress, and she's fighting bullies.
Oh, bullyism, yeah.
Yes, and there's a group of regattes. They've all been bullied in the past, and they're doing and I've been supporting with them for like 3 years. I always tell them, when you're bullied, because I was bullied at school, not only by the children, because I was always told I was strange, I was different, but also by the teachers and the parents of the children. I was always being told, you're stupid. But look where I am now.
Yes, yes, yeah.
And I remember going home crying to my grandmother and said, they teased me about my eyes because I got yellow eyes. I said I got cat's eyes. I talk with the dead and this, and, I was bullied. And my grandmother said, but why are you crying? She said, it's best to be different than be like everybody else. You exist.
Sure.
It makes us stronger, but that pain doesn't go away. It stays inside you. And sometimes you feel insecure because you always remember those words. But you've got to be stronger. I mean, at school, I was told that I was stupid. There was a friend of mine, he was told that he wasn't intelligent. His name was Julius Francis, that he went on to box Mike Tyson. It means never listen to anybody. Don't listen to
Absolutely, agree. I think either you are supportive or get out of the way.
Absolutely,
that's right.
Yes.
We all have our own road to walk. If I walk your road, I'm no more me, I will suffer. If you walk my road, you will suffer because it's not for you. But together, we can be strong.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Plus, you're never going to be me. You don't have my hair.
And you're never going to be me, right?
Mike, if I was in there, I would cut that hair. I would get the clippers and I will cut it short. Because you will
No!
You see, you're someone that finally will
not gonna happen.
When are you coming to London, Craig?
I would love to come to London for September because it's been almost 8 years that I've not been to London.
Of course, we wait for you in London. You're going to have Sunday roast and then all Italian recipes around, yeah? All good?
Awesome, man.
It's a date.
Mwah. Love you, Medina.
Much love to you. Much
Thank you so much for being with us.
Very big guy.
Love you.
Thank you so much.
Mwah. So amazing. So amazing that he got you.
Yes, exactly.
He got your grandfather, basically.
Absolutely. And what he said in particular, he actually talked about a special moment. Which was between me and my father, my grandfather, when I was trying to talk to him, but he couldn't. And he said he was weak, so he couldn't talk to you. And that's incredible. Because
it's unbelievable,
he took a very, very special detail. It's incredible.
And apparently I'm surrounded by children that make me...
that's amazing. I love that.
I love that as well.
That's why you dance and sing all the time, so you are kind of cheered by them, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you live with us, that's what you're gonna see. I don't know if you're gonna love it. I dance and sing in my underwear all day.
That's such a beautiful image. I love that. That was amazing. It's just
you can't go wrong with underwear, right? A t-shirt and underwear,
yeah. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions for us or for Craig, put them down below. Write to us at questions@britalians.tv. We'll be happy to reply all the questions.
Absolutely, yes. And thank you so much for watching. Grazie per averci guardato. And
grazie ragazzi. And if there was any Italian watching, you need to learn English. So that's how it's gonna go on our channel from now on. So yeah.
Thank you so much for watching.
Bye guys, love you.
We love you.